listening to the Dynamic Women podcast. Each week, you'll be inspired by our global community of women. They'll share with you tools and stories to help you be dynamic in every area of life. Here's your host, award-winning coach, and the CEO and founder of Dynamic Women, Diane Rolston.
Unbalanced. That happens like every day. Wow, I'm going to talk about tips and techniques to help you feel balanced. And you know, it was crazy today. My daughter's got a 10 a.m. class meeting on MSN Teams. I have to get my son organized, and then I have to make myself be put together so that I can come on this call or this session. I'm going to talk about tips and tricks so you can feel more balanced. I'm going to be covering stuff around social media. I'm also going to cover things around time management or managing tasks as it really is. What are the things that frustrate you that take a lot of time? I know that Jackie, one of her things is she's all these groups, all these events happening, and she's got to post in all of them. So I'm going to talk about that, but let me know what other things are frustrating you, and I'll see what kind of techniques that I use, because I love efficiency. I love being efficient. I love just how can I do things faster? Yeah, and it's so funny, like right before I got in here, what is the last thing that I hear? You're a dummy. My son called me a dummy because I wouldn't put the TV on in the basement for him. I was making him use the one in the living room. It's such a hardship, isn't it? So here we go. Okay. And I want to see what other things are costing you guys time, taking your time, and if you had extra time, what would you do with it? Would love to know that. So life can feel unbalanced and that you need to find more time. Can I get an amen? Yes. I have 2 kids. They are 5 and 8. And with the coronavirus right now, they are home. They're with me all the time. They need my attention. They need my help. And so it is crucial that I find more time. It is crucial that we all become more efficient in what we're doing. So do you have questions about freeing up more time? Maybe it's around scheduling Facebook posts, with planning your day, with getting things done. You know, my creativity has really come out at this time. Trust me, I've been super creative. But there's a lot of these tried and true techniques that I use normally anyway that I will talk about today. So let me know if you have something that you're struggling with. Let me know. I'll see if I can find a more efficient way for you. Let's first talk about what a couple ladies on my private Facebook group, but it's for the public. It's just private in that no one can. They asked me two things. One's around scheduling posts in different groups at the same time. So there are a lot of different scheduling tools that you can use. So let's really just start with that. You've maybe heard of Buffer, Hootsuite. The one that she was talking about was CinchShare, Planoly. If you know more, let me know. There are so many out there. And I'm going to let you know a couple things about this. So I'm going to primarily speak to Facebook because that's where I post more so. And that is where Jackie, who asked me this question, that's where she is sharing on all these events that she does. And so we want to take a step back. Everything we do in time management, or task management, we have to be thinking about, is the saved time as good as like the result that I'm going to get? And is there any penalty to doing it in a cost-saving way? It's funny, the other day I watched a Hallmark movie with my family. It was for the Easter season, and it was talking about this chocolate factory. And they wanted to automate. So they have they've been famous for their handmade chocolates. And they wanted to start doing using machines to automate the process. And so that's all good, as long as what? as long as the quality of the chocolate is exactly the same, as long as the design is the same, as long as it, or better. Hey, or better, that's good too. But what they were finding is that the chocolate wasn't as good of quality because some of the wrong cocoa beans were getting added into the chocolate. So having a machine check the cocoa beans pods, whatever they are, having that check wasn't being sufficiently done by the machine. And so they were finding that the quality of the chocolate wasn't as good. So with this scheduling to Facebook social media, you have to think, is the result as good or better? And if it's not, are you okay with that because it saved you time or was easier, more efficient? So let's go back to the chocolate story. So they were saying the quality of the chocolate wasn't as good. Then they had these baskets being made up by a machine. Again, the quality of the product wasn't as good because the care to attention wasn't there. And so in this case, you have to be thinking, would the sales of the chocolate go down because the efficiency was valued more and wasn't producing as good of a product? And then, and this is really good for the people who are doing products. And then you have to think, if the quality isn't as good, does that take away from your brand? And even with posting, if there are mistakes that happen, this could take away from your brand. It could take away from your brand essence. It could take away from the quality, which is maybe you're coming in at a higher quality. That's a lot of products that are handmade, right? Also cost more. And so you have to think of where you come in the industry. Now, let me switch it back to social media. The reason why I say this is because Facebook can penalize you for using an external posting system. And how do you get penalized? Your posts won't show up as often as posts that are organically posted straight to Facebook. Okay, so there's a couple of things here. One, if you want to use the system of copying and pasting into Facebook because you really want it to be an organic post, meaning it's posted on Facebook, and caveat here, I am not a Facebook expert. Okay, this is what I have learned in my service, in my business, and to be of service to you, I want to share what I know. So if you're going to copy and paste, one tip that I've heard is to stay in the box that you're pasting in for 10 seconds. Because that's kind of Facebook's way of knowing, did you actually write this post or did you go on a copy and paste spree? So this is, why would you copy and paste in? Because you want to schedule, and Facebook allows that. If Facebook allows you to schedule your posts. And so I was doing that last night. I was going into my group, if you just search for Dynamic Women Global Community, you'll find it. And if you're a woman, you can join for free. You just have to answer the questions. So I was going in and I was scheduling all of these posts. Okay. And so you have to be thinking about being in there for 10 seconds so that Facebook thinks that you're actually writing it out. It is going to favor you writing it out rather than just copying and pasting. And you can schedule a whole month this way. You can schedule your week. You can schedule your next day. You can schedule the current day. And this is really beneficial for you because I know for me, a lot of times I have some time at night. I'm watching TV. I'm chilling out. I'm, just hanging out, maybe overseeing kids' homework or something. And I can be doing this. I can be making my posts. And then the next day when I get up and have to get like the craziness of school and all that, my posts are already done. And I know I can just, not even worry about it. So that's one piece. So if you want to do it that way, that's my big tip there is stay in the box for 10 seconds. And I know for Jackie, she was saying that she had all the tabs open because she's doing all these events for her epicure business. And so she's got each of these events that she's hosting open, and that's cool. And so I encourage her to kind of go copy and paste in one and then go to the next, copy and paste in that one, and keep them open. Don't actually post it yet. And then go along, then come back and schedule and schedule and schedule. And so there's just beside the button for the post, there's just a little like clock icon. You just click that. And then that gives you the chance to schedule it for another day. And the cool thing is you can even change the scheduled posts later. You can even go and edit the day you have it scheduled or edit the post as it is. So that's, you can do that all within Facebook. And if you're going to do that, I encourage you to maybe do an Excel spreadsheet or something, or a Word document where you have all of your posts ready, so that you're not like just in the box writing them all. So you can just sit there in a Word document. And I encourage this because then you're not distracted by all the notifications on Facebook. So have a Word document, have an Excel sheet, something. And the other benefit is when you're doing the same thing again, so when you're doing the same event again, you have all your posts ready to go. When you are doing the same launch for a certain product or on a certain topic, you have all your posts ready to go. And if you think, well, oh, I'm using the same ones on the same people. People aren't going to remember. People don't remember every single post you ever written, and people haven't seen every single post you've ever written. Okay, so remember that. So have it in Excel, Excel doc, Google Doc, something, and then just copy and paste it in. Remember, wait the 10 seconds and then schedule it. Okay, so that's the one piece. I trust that that's helpful. Okay, so that's the one side of things. The one side is you just have a Google or a Word doc and then you copy and paste and schedule in. The other way is to use one of these scheduling systems. Years ago, I used Hootsuite. I used Hootsuite. And so what I would do is I would create an Excel spreadsheet that would have what I was going to post, when I was going to post it, and like all the hashtags, everything in a very specific Excel document. And then I could bulk upload that to Hootsuite. I could change the times. So I could bulk upload it to Twitter, and then I could change the times, and I could bulk upload to Facebook, and then I could change the times, and I could bulk upload to LinkedIn. So something like a Hootsuite has all of your social platforms that you want to add to it, and then you can specify which ones you want it to go to. And so when I bulk uploaded this like CSV file to to Hootsuite, it would take all of the things and it would already populate it. It'd be like, so take all of it and go all the way down. And then it was like the 30 posts are done. So that step of going back and forth into Facebook or into whatever you are in order to do a post that is, so that's the organic. This one is not organic. It wasn't posted straight on Facebook through Facebook platform. It was done through an external source. So, it's been said, and you probably know this, that your reach won't be as good in this way. So you have to ask yourself, if your reach won't be as good in this way, is it more important to have efficiency, to have more time? Is that more important than having it have a bigger reach? What you can do at the same time is you can work on better content. You can also work on staggering the times. So don't post like right at 1 o'clock or 1:30 or 1:15 because everybody's posting at that time. Like post instead of at 1, post at 1:07. Instead of 1:15, post at like 1:23. Instead of 1:30, you get the idea, right? Post at 1:34. Some like different time. So that it's not competing with everyone who posts at 1, at 2, at 1:30, at 2:15. So posting at that slightly different time means in the feed, it won't be competing with everyone else. And what you'll find with a lot of the posting systems like Planoly, what are some other ones that I've used? Maybe this Cinch Share that Jackie was asking about. When you post to those and you do the automatic, it likes to choose on the hour. But now you're competing with everyone else who's using that system or similar systems that like to post on the hour or on the half hour, on the quarter hour. So I encourage you, at least if you're going to use one of the scheduling systems, make the times a bit different, make them weird. And what you can also do is, let's say currently, if you do that copy paste method into Facebook and schedule, maybe you feel like that's so much work. I don't want to do that to Twitter. I don't want to do it to all these other places. Then you have the opportunity, if you're using a bulk uploader like a Hootsuite or a Buffer, that you can pull all of the content in and then just like throw it on those other ones, right? Because you already have the content, just change the times so that if your audience is on one platform at one time and then another platform, they might catch it at a different time. So if you're going to put it on these other, if you wouldn't put these other platforms because you'd have to copy paste and that would take a long time, then wouldn't it make sense to use one of these uploading systems, the software, in order to have it go on these other platforms, just so you're present, right? Just so you're there. And so if actually doing it that way means you're actually on the platforms and consistently on it, then do it. And again, if using one of these scheduling systems or softwares or tools is going to mean you're actually consistent in your posting, is that not also better than being inconsistent in organic reach? So again, all of this I'm sharing with you comes down to, what are your choices? What do you value most? What's more important? If you have unlimited money and limited resources and you can hire someone to do this, then you need to figure out like what's the best way to do it. Okay? So let's go back. Organic scheduling on the different platforms, right? We have that copy paste method. We have bulk uploading to Hootsuite, Buffer, other ones, whatever it is. The kind of, it's better to do it onto a platform, bulk upload it rather than like not doing it at all. Another option is Facebook has their own platform called Creator Studio. So if you're going to upload somewhere, why not use Facebook's own platform? Because Facebook is going to like that more, favor it more, maybe push more of your content out. And I just had another thought too about groups. With groups, the other thing that you can do is, if you are posting onto groups, if everyone has their notifications set on, it doesn't really matter how you put it in there. Because if people have notifications, anytime you post, the notification will alert them that you have posted in the group, or actually anyone has posted in the group. So I wouldn't worry so much about it for groups if you wanted to use some sort of scheduling thing, as long as you tell people to put notifications on, because they can take that off for themselves. So that's just another side note. So using Creator Studio by Facebook would be a really great way of using one of these systems and having it work in your favor. However, I've never used Creator Studio. That's kind of in the plan. Right now, speaking of plan, I am using something called Planoly. And so what happens is my assistant, Kate, she takes the images that I have and she goes into Planoly and she schedules, and then she takes posts or content and then mixes it with some content that she's writing, and then she schedules all of them. Now, she's scheduling first to Instagram. And the reason why she's scheduling to Instagram is because my Instagram wasn't really I wasn't really doing much with it. It was a lot of work because you mainly have to do it on your phone, right? So this way, she's scheduling it through Planoly on the computer, which is much easier and much faster. But I also picked up the Planoly app. And so what I've been doing, and I feel like I should do a whole nother thing about this, is I actually go on to, because the stories are hard to pre-schedule, right? And so what I've been doing is I've been going into, let's say, Canva or something, and making the image, the story, and having a whole bunch of them. And you're going to see this in the Dynamic Women podcast. I'm going to go back and post all the audios from, because we're celebrating 1 year today, 1 year of episodes, 52 episodes today. And so I'm making these stories, and then I save them and I schedule them, but then, and I'm going to my phone to see, but then I have to then go through Planoly, and it tells me, of course, there's an error now in uploading. Here we go. So I have the Planoly app, and I have a story ready to go on there, and all I need to do, and I'll post it right now. Post now. Post to my story. Okay. And then story, and send to, and share. Done. So that was me posting something I already made. So that's another thing. Batch your things, your images, whatever it is. in something like a Canva where you can just kind of copy and switch your quote out or switch something out. And then the last thing you can do is you can have, and this again is not great for exposure. Facebook doesn't like this as much, but you can always push content from one platform to another. So be thinking about that. I can post to Instagram and have it fly over to Facebook, but I also post organically on Facebook. Also post organically to Facebook. So I don't just have one social handle post to another one, but that is very good, right? Especially Twitter, I don't really go on much. And so I have something that takes my posts from Facebook and shoots it over to Twitter and posts it there. Now, is that the best thing for my time? For me, yeah. Is it the best thing for my business? Maybe not. Like, it'd be great to have someone managing Twitter and managing all these and engaging in all these and posting organically in all these. I'm dealing with the time that I have. So I encourage you to do the same, to be thinking about what is the best use of your time. So I encourage you to do this. Pick one platform. Make sure you're doing some organic posting, meaning posting straight to the platform. Pick one of these other posting, sites that you can use to help you out. Creator Studio is a good one because it's through Facebook. Then get on there and actually engage with your posts. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like other people's comments on it. And this should give you at least a plan. Then if you push content from there to other platforms, great. If you bulk upload to these other platforms, great. But at least pick one platform and really put a lot of energy into it, ideally where your clients already are. And so Paula says, rule of thumb for Instagram posts versus Facebook posts. Where are your people? Where are they? Have content that's engaging, have content that could go viral because it looks good, because it's something that people want to consume. If you have a question that I can help to solve for you, looks like time management is a big topic, or task management. So I can talk more about that in an upcoming video for you. Make sure that if you're not part of the Dynamic Women Global community, the Facebook group online, it's free to join. Go and join it. Make sure you answer the questions. It is a ladies only location. I love going live in there. I love sharing tips, techniques, kind of like this one, and join me. Wishing you a fabulous week, everyone. Stay safe, stay dynamic. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you, Dynamic Women, for joining us today. Please hop on over to iTunes to subscribe and leave us a review. Who do you know who needs to hear our message? We'd love it if you'd share our channel with your friends and family. If you're ready to be more dynamic, have more balance and more success, head over to www.dynamicwomenclub.com/free gift for your Key to Success book. Stay dynamic.